Hi, I'm Sophia Elliott. As a parent of 3 gifted kids, I'm here to talk about all things gifted. Because I've been isolated and uncertain, and I felt like that parent. Then I found peace of mind, support, and my community. This podcast is about sharing that journey, actually parenting gifted kids, and connecting with advice and support. So we have everything we need for every member of our family to thrive. This is the Our Gifted Kid podcast. Hello and welcome to the Our Gifted Kids podcast. Welcome to our new season. I hope 2024 has been treating you well. I'm reaching out today with a heart full of gratitude and a sizable chunk of humility. But firstly, thank you so much for reaching out to me last year. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for being a guest on the podcast. Thank you for being an Our Gifted Kids Hub member, which keeps everything going. Thank you for your reviews and your follows and your likes and your loves. Thank you for your incredibly kind words about what the podcast means to you, and thank you for your desire to connect and get involved. Your support and connection means the absolute world to me, and it's a big part of what keeps me motivated, this amazing gifted community. 2023 was, without a doubt, an incredibly intense and challenging year for me personally, with challenges on a variety of fronts, as well as being a mom of 3 amazing, gifted and neurodivergent kids. My days were full of all those unique joys and challenges. And I think you know what I mean. Life seems to be challenging a lot of us right now. Balancing my family and the podcast needs has always been tricky. And last year I was forced to include trying to bring some balance to my own needs, which is a fairly new one for me and not something that has come easily in the past, but was incredibly essential. I put in, quite frankly, an incredible amount of time and effort into some very necessary personal growth over the last 3 or 4 years. And in 2023, it seems it was a year for consolidation. I was desperately keen to move forward with all of my gifted, neurodivergent, bright ideas and gusto. But apparently the universe required evidence of my readiness and personal growth in the form of one consolidation test after another. And unfortunately, in amongst all this, some aspects of life had to give. I deeply regret that one of the things that had to give was publishing the podcast and my presence. But honestly, I'm also incredibly proud that what didn't give was the connection time spent with my kids. I have always strived to maintain a strong connection with you, our community. But last year I found myself utterly overwhelmed and burnt out. The mental and physical toll of dealing with unwanted challenges on multiple fronts, with all of the patience, grace, love, and boundaries I could possibly muster, a whole lot of what would Brene Brown do and what would Ted Lasso say, and juggling countless commitments was immense and exhausting. It pained me greatly not to be able to keep up with your emails, messages, and social media and the podcast. But I guess that's the pointy end of being someone talking to you about the lived experience of our complex, gifted, and neurodivergent lives. Sometimes I'm very much living the experience, or perhaps more correctly, struggling in the lived experience. I want you to know that your messages were heard. Each one is incredibly precious to me. But I simply could not make it all work. And for that, I'm incredibly remorseful. And I understand that if this has caused any disappointment or inconvenience, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I would love to be the superhero that folks seem to think I am, but alas, I am a very normal human being. Well, our kind of normal. But here's the good news. In amongst all this, I've been working on some new systems and automations to help our gifted kids move forward more seamlessly, which means like without me. As I've also worked tirelessly to purge and resolve everything in my life that needs to be let go of. I'm always full of hope at the beginning of a new year. I like that about me, even if it is a bit naive and I just ended up burnt out by March anyway. I am a glass half full kind of person. And you know what? I'm calling May New Year's second coming. With new support, like someone else is now editing the podcast, which is incredibly exciting. except this one, like the benchmark is low for this one, but future podcasts have actually been edited like properly. I'm feeling more prepared to make the Our Gifted Kids podcast a consistent, helpful presence. As we move forward into this year, I want to reassure you that I'm here, I'm engaged, and I'm hyper-focused, which is really saying something. As a gifted autistic ADHD, I have a lot of hyper-focus. And honestly, I'm feeling as though I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago, which is a good thing, like an evolved thing, growth thing, I don't know. So much has happened in that time, and I look forward to sharing more of that journey with you because I know I'm not alone in that beautiful, messy carnage, gifted and neurodivergent life. Your feedback, your stories, your support are the lifeblood of this podcast, and I can't wait to feel present again as we continue our journey. Thank you for sticking with me through thick and thin. Here's to a brighter and more present and connected 2024. We've been working hard to prepare more than 10 podcast episodes that were recorded but not published in 2023. Well, I haven't really been working on them. Someone else has been working on them, which is absolutely flippin' amazing. I am always so humbled and grateful for the time and energy of our podcast guests and their grace and patience in waiting for those episodes to be published. Thank you so much, you beautiful, awesome people. They are amazing episodes, and I can't wait to share that beautiful awesomeness with everyone. I'm also very excitedly updating videos in the Unpacking Gifted course for a re-release later this year. And everyone who has purchased it in the past will also have access to the new version. The Unpacking Gifted course is a very accessible course that tells you everything that you need to know about giftedness, whether you're a parent or an educator, because that's the first hurdle, isn't it? What is this gifted thing all about? The Unpacking Gifted course and all freshly recorded, unedited podcasts are also perks of the Our Gifted Kids Hub. So if you're super keen and hate waiting for podcasts to be published, you can actually access them as they're recorded in our members online portal. Membership also includes monthly Zoom calls, an online portal full of information that we're always adding to, a private Facebook group, and there are different tiers where you can also opt for a quarterly one-on-one peer mentoring session, and more. Or if you just love and appreciate the podcast and would like to support us, you can send us a one-off tip or join our podcast patrons for the price of a coffee a month. The podcast patron online portal has been updated, and it's where you can find all freshly recorded podcasts, all published podcast episodes, and bonus playlists in a searchable online portal. We'll also be releasing some new ebooks this year. I have got so many almost finished ones that I'm going to finish, and we're looking at getting back into some blogs. So it's all happening, and it feels really good to be back in the seat and moving forward again. My motivation is to update and streamline these things so I can move on to a new pet project this year. And I think I'll just leave that as a teaser. But it's something I've been yearning to do for years, and I'm determined that 2024 is the year that this passion project comes to fruition. So stay tuned for that one and cross your fingers for me. And finally, something else I've been yearning to do more of and better is more collaborations. There are so many amazing people in this gifted community doing awesome things. A big part of the Our Gifted Kids mission is to make it easy for parents to find the resources you need and find the helpers you need. So I'm excited to be sharing more of the great work going on out there as we journey through 2024. Take care and stay tuned. Stay quirky and keep being awesome. If you enjoyed this episode and it inspired you in some way, I'd love to hear about your biggest takeaway in the comments. For more episodes, you can subscribe, and to help others find our podcast, please leave a review. You can find show notes and more resources at ourgiftedkids.com, and connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. See you in the same place next week.